Guys, I'm an old man. I'm 29 years old today. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, what isn't crazy is what I'm about to talk about. Jamar Chase lost his appeal, which I understand why he appealed because $507,000. He's getting fined total because he's getting fined 57 grand, but he also loses his game check plus his game check bonus. So that's why he appealed, because he obviously doesn't want to lose all that money. But at the end of the day, even if you don't want to lose all that money, you spit on the guy. I mean, you spit on the guy. Obviously, you could say, well, he spit in the direction. It wasn't directly on him. It was in his direction. Whatever way you want to put it, you spit on him. Okay? You maybe spit at him. You spit in his direction. Whatever. You spit toward the guy. Okay? And when you do that, yeah, you're going to get fined. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get suspended for a game. And you can't do stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, you know, he appealed it. And he lost. And it's got to just, how it is when it comes to, stuff like this. You can't do stuff like this. Same concept with, you hit someone dirty like Ramsey did on Jamar Chase. That's okay because you're a Pittsburgh Steelers player. Yeah, no. On a real note, though, this is just nonsense. It's nonsense to even appeal it. I think, in all honesty, my opinion is the same as before. I think he should have put out an apology. I think he should have said, hey, man, I messed up. I shouldn't have done this. I let emotions get the best of me, and I did something disgusting. You can't go out there and spit on people, just even though, given the circumstances of what Ramsey did during that game. But if anything, throwing a punch at that point would have been better. Obviously, Ramsey does go ahead and punch Chase. Now, I'm not sure what the suspension is. Not suspension, excuse me. I'm not sure what the fine is for Ramsey throwing the punch on Chase. My assumption is it's just going to be like $5,000, something small. Maybe not $5,000. Maybe like something like 25, 30 grand. But something small compared to, Chase's situation. I did see a couple people say down below, and this is like the age-old funny thing whenever it comes to someone, an NFL player, getting fined. Like, oh yeah, so what, is this like $5 to the regular person? Yeah, at the end of the day, that is, right? But it's kind of ironic here, because this is also $507,000 plus the fine that's going to charity. So, in a way, you think about it, like, this is actually a very positive thing for charity-wise, that $507,000 is going to charity. For actually, I guess not technically 507. It's only going to be in the end 57,000, because his game check. I guess I don't know. Actually, never mind. Actually, I think maybe they are going to take his game check too. I mean, obviously he's not going to get paid, but I thought that would just become like null and void. But maybe the NFL will take the game check too and the bonus. So that is like over $507,000 straight up going to charity. So, hey, I mean, that's that's a positive in the end here, is that charity is going to get a lot of money, and, it could help out a lot. So, I guess, sometimes you got to look at the positives in the end, even though there's not many when it comes to don't spit on players. I think that one was pretty obvious. Also, and I've said this a million times, I never understand this one. You probably shouldn't punch a player with a helmet on. Like, I understand, Jalen Ramsey in that situation, right? Guy spit on you. You got to respond. You got to do something. Most likely the response is to punch the guy, right? But he did punch Jamar Chase with a helmet on. And I say a million bazillion times, when you punch a player with a helmet on, you're not the one winning that situation, because you're punching someone with a steel metal helmet on, and you're punching metal. So, like, the player is not going to feel it. That's the point of a helmet, right? But if a helmet is, like, the player's not going to feel it. When it comes to, you're gonna feel it because you're punching metal. So I always find that funny because I don't think we've ever had a situation where a player got like hurt or broke a hand punching someone in the face mask or the helmet. But I always think to myself, I'm like, if that ever did happen, like a player got punched or something and they broke their hand, that's always one of those situations where I feel like as a coach, you just pull the player aside and you're like, okay, so future reference, I understand frustrations happen, I understand things happen. Let's try not to punch metal. That's something that does not give. Just like MetLife's turf, where their turf is absolutely awful and it causes injuries. Same concept here. This doesn't, punching a piece of metal does not give in any way. And actually, I think, if I am correct, wasn't it the Jalen Ramsey, AJ Green fight? I believe. Where, okay. Let me not have the audio here. But this was the fight between obviously Green is throwing some punches here. Probably not the smartest idea possible. But going back and forth here, the smartest thing to do if you're going to throw a punch is rip off the guy's helmet first. He's unsuccessful and he just throws some punches. But again, man, again, it looks like he does try to throw a punch a little bit more toward his actual body. But it just, metal's not going to give. Metal is not going to give when it comes to that stuff. But anyway, tell me down below your thoughts, please, guys. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.